Thank you so much for sending it on to Riddick and IJ. Look at this draft, my boy. Look at this draft. We are having the time of our lives here on Jaguar Falls. So let's just take a short break before we discuss this draft, you and I, Riddick. As I can see, I get a little bit of a message into my ear.
As we lead into the break, we've talked about Lads' play, and GG's to him, impressive job hitting. But can we talk about the underdogs for just one quick second? Phil, sir, if you're watching this, I did not see you miss a shot, man. Well done. Star player on AICO's side. GG's.
That was mean. But nonetheless, we are actually going to take a short break and return to you with game number 2. I was a little bit quick to go on, but we'll get there very soon. Ladies, gentlemen, and everyone in between, let's go on to game number 2's draft with this little guy with a GG here and a ridiculously average. Let's go into draft number 2 here on Jaguar Falls. What is going to be the roster on the side of AICO, my man?
On the side of AICO, we do see the Willow, Furia, Fernando, Tyra, and Ash coming through. Playing them just yet, but we'll find out in the game. I am seeing the Makoa and the Drogo spam on that side. It looks really good on the side. They're acknowledging how terrifying the Trogos was last mine. Lud's playing that exceedingly well. I'm going to guess that he might be on the Cassie right now. That's the only blast to see from that champion. But yeah, just you can't have that combustible Drogos anymore. That was too demolishing. And having a Makoa as well in combination with that, in conjunction with that, it was too difficult to deal with.
Definitely. Over on the side of Infected Dragons, we have the bans coming through with Khan and Torvald. They simply don't like front lines this matchup, I think. But we're going through the picks, and there we have Leon, Inara, Barrick, Maldamba, and Cassie. And as you said, you might think that the Infected Dragons has chosen lots on the Cassie, and that should definitely be the case. But I actually must say that the amount of overall point pressure is definitely in favor of the Infected Dragons here. But I don't know what you think about it.
I have to disagree. We've got the Ash. They are bruiser tanks, generally known in the meta. However, they've got the Furia, and they've got the Willow. Both champions, and Tyra actually, both Willow and Tyra can control the point. If you got a burn monster, there's no way that any of those tanks are getting on the point. Yeah, we got the Stone Warden and the stay-at-home dad on the side of Infected Dragons, but if they can't get on the point, they can't really do that much to stop chip capture. Furia being able to heal up the Ash and just keep her on point, that's going to be impactful. So I have to give it to AICO in terms of point sustain this match, man.
And then I just looked at the Tyra pick and was like, oh, I didn't realize that. So
you never see her coming, man. You never see.
You know, I am so used to just banning it away because she's so incredibly annoying to play against with the burn monster. So I am never used to seeing it actually being used in drafts.
But that's true. But we're going to main. Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry. You can finish what you were saying and.
As a frontliner main that does not believe on standing on the point, Tyra is the bane of my existence. But let's take it away into this match.
We're going to give it a few seconds, and then we're ready with the first matchup. Don't go anywhere as we sync up. Ladies, gentlemen, and everyone in between, welcome aboard to some Paladin action here with the second game between AICO Esports and Infected Dragons. Let's go through to the rosters. Over on the side of AICO, we have Volta playing the hunting party, Tyra, Nightshade Willow played by Xenus, Exopuck on the Slugshot Ash, Vermid OG on the Solar Blessing Furia, and Samaran on the Scorch Fernando.
Luds, as I predicted, on the Impulse Cassie, Spurs chosen, Maldamba for Jags, and Trunk on the Tinkering Barrack, Cac Pro, Mother's Grace, and Noah, Punch Toddy on the Death and Taxes, Leanne.
The fight has hereby begun over on the left side, where it's actually a dangerous place to be if you are against an Ashe, but they don't seem to mind much on the side of AICO, just focusing on the point and focusing on controlling lots. The whole team of Infected Dragons are held back.
as I said, Willow is such a good pressure champion. Any Blast champion really is great at pressuring. We do see a Slugshot Ashe, and she's going to be very aggressive, as well as the Scorch Fernando getting picked up a little too early there, but nothing to be worried about. AICO are actually managing to hold really strong against Infected Dragons right now. They're putting pressure on. Willow's managing to keep them off the point with the Seedlings, with her Dead Zone, just managing to just keep the control going. I'm surprised we didn't get a Burn Monster Tyra, but that doesn't matter. As long as they can utilize the Hunter's Mark and make it count, that extra damage, they should be good here.
Zenus gets a hold on to CAC Pro, and that's a very important pick to take. When Inara is down, that means point control for the side of AICO Esports. They're definitely ready to mingle and mangle here, while 3 members are on the left, making sure that there's no flanks gonna happen here, and with a nice Inflame, they will have the means to push into their backline.
Sinnoh's just picking off the Liane, making sure that Infected Dragon does not have the damage they require. She needs to find the Cassie, though, if she want to make a real impact right now. Cassie is available. Tyra's going to go onto her. And Vilsa making sure that hit scan plays is there. And Nara not being able to stick on point. Tyra denying her that space. Maldamba goes down as well. Infected Dragons are really scattered at the moment. They're making poor choices. They're scrambling for the point right now. Barrack is the only man standing on that area. And he's going to go down pretty quickly right now.
By the wonderful words of a man I once knew, once you're on the point, you get the points. And that's what happened here for AICO Esports. They have really shown a different leaf now. They've turned a different leaf here, because compared to last round, this is a much better coordinational effort from the side of AICO. Really impressive plays here as they get the point.
As I said, AICO have the area control advantage. They're able to push forward with the Tyra and Willow backing them. You're keeping the entire team healed up, no problem. Fernando's not dying, Ash is not dying. They're all going and pushing through hard. AICO do have a bit of a choke to work through right now, and if Infected Dragons want to make this defense, they have to take this. They have to stop it right here, and Inara is the best champion to do that.
Exopuck activating Assert Dominance to make sure that he can pressure the enemy lines a little bit longer. Lots going into safety so you won't get pushed off the face of the earth by Exopuck. And now with a really nice place, Pyre, he is back to full health and ready to pressure a little bit longer.
And that's what we see with the Bruiser tanks right now. Ash and Fernando are able to get in the back line, able to do some damage, able to annoy the heck out of a team. Assert Dominance coming out to keep everyone busy. Infected Dragons getting distracted from that losing ground, but they're regaining it right now. Borja and Tori, Inara, Cassie pushing back, Luds making them plays happen right now. As they start pushing through on the right side, Ash, the regroup is happening for AICO. They're able to push through right now. They have the Immortal available, but Infected Dragons do have an alt advantage. They do have the Seismic Crash. We can stop pushes dead in their tracks. They have the Dread Serpent. Can they make it count though?
That is all the way up to Lutz and his pressure, due to the fact that if anyone goes through the flanks, then the Seismic Crash won't matter. The Seismic Crash is supposed to work towards the goal of keeping them away from payload, not keeping them from flanking. So right now Samaran, he's doing his very best to flank up towards the side of Infected Dragons, really pulling up his weight here as the main tank of the roster. But he goes down to Lutz and Tranq, and Lutz is still on killing spree here, going absolutely insane together with Boat and Toddy. Vermid OG very low and trying to hide from the fact that he will go down, and he just had to face reality sooner or later.
Delayed triple kill from Luds right there. Brilliant player, making it show that he doesn't need a Drogas, he doesn't need a Blast champion to be viable right now. He's playing well on every champion as Infected Dragons defend successfully with that delayed triple from Luds.
Can we just take a little bit of a sip of wine, because this is the chill house. We're looking at some good plays, and Zenus on the Willow, as always, doing a lot of damage. And then we look over at Infected Dragons with Lutz at 6, 1, and 5, and you're thinking,
yeah,
I wouldn't like a Cassie in that situation. I wouldn't like having that Cassie alive any longer than necessary.
Well, it's been a good idea to maybe ban out that Cassie. She's pulling almost 50k damage, and it's only been the first point as we head into this the second capture. Eyes on Luds, man. Can he make these plays? Scout is available. This is an early game advantage as he starts pushing through, pops it, and this is where the play-by-play happens.
Over on the left, over on the right side, we see a lot of pressure here as the Dread Serpent gets activated. Exopuck is in deep trouble, but the Pyre will make it survive for a little bit longer. We have the Enlightenment followed by an Immortal here from Samaran. There is not much that can be done other than just going back to the point while all these ults are being thrown to the left and right. And here's the Fae Flight. Let's see what he can do with this.
Hopping over to Willow, making sure he can get some point pressure going. Just spraying damage down on Infected Dragons as they get pushed back. And on the side, on the left-hand side of this map, Ashe is not someone you want to be fighting in that box. She can just boop you off, no problem. She doesn't even have to do damage. One back, you're gone, man. Doesn't manage to get that pick, though. Fae Flight ends, and Sinus is just beating everyone back. Infected Dragons are on the back foot as AICO step up to capture the place.
It doesn't look to be a good situation for Samaran as he goes low, but the Pyre will, as always, make sure that he survives. They really do have a capable healer on their hands here on the side of AICO, really getting those essential Pyres. But it doesn't matter because Infected Dragons are back at it again with them plays, and assures a capture for their squad.
CacPro with an excellent triple kill there, coming through, making sure that Infected Dragons come to that part. They basically just turned that around completely. AICO on the back foot right now. Barrack, T-Trank, doing some of that zoning, being the fat Cassie that needs to be. There's two Cassies playing for Infected Dragons right now, my man. We're going to be completely honest, and it's working out well. Infected Dragons have the zone advantage. Leon, Cassie, both on 11 streaks, and both making sure the damage is happening as Sinus goes down to the fat Cassie. This is going all the way of Infected Dragons right now.
Lots right now in the vicinity of Samaran, and that is going to be the last we hear from him for this time around as he goes down. Bojentati following up by getting Vilsa. That is two very essential targets going down, both the main damage dealer and the main tank, which makes CacPro having all the space in the world, which makes sure that the team will follow through and maybe get a conversion here.
AICO was just like, AICO surprised Infected Dragons with that first point capture. They completely demolished them and started pushing through hardcore. There was no contestation. But Infected Dragons is like, okay, cool. See your playstyle.
That's
cool.
cool.
Willow, you got the Tyra. We know you can control point, but that's fine. We'll just kill you off before we step up to the plate. Let's just do that. That seems to work for us. And they're already so close to conversion. A minute left. And all Infected Dragons have to do is just pop the ult at the right time and they can make this play happen.
Well, Samaran is definitely trying to disprove your theory by having the fireballs, the firebombs being at the highest level, always making sure that it hits. There's not a single missed one, and then I did the caster's curse by him missing. Exopuck in the Exopuck on the left, trying to hold back Tranq and Lutz, but that is one too many to counter, and Lutz gets off with 2 kills and maybe even 3 if he gets the right target. Vilsa going down to very low HP, but Lutz and Bojentati goes down.
Yeah, Lutz getting annihilated by Fury right there, and she's doing so much for her team right now. Vermit OG on this Fury is just basically allowing her tanks to keep being as reckless and aggressive as they want to be. She's got that solar blessing heal, and that's so powerful. Look at that. Ashe just going all the way up to half health from 0. Not going to save her though. Lutz making sure that he can get the double kill. Beautifully done. Willow and Exopuck is going to go down. Sinus getting sent back to base. Inflame is available though. They can't stop this. They can defend. AICO need to step it up right now.
Well, AICO definitely stepped up to the challenge and got that defense in the most stressful way possible. I'm very impressed that they could do it in such a stressful situation with like enemies all over the place. The only ones being dead were Lutz and Bojentati. Tranq was jumping around, but nonetheless, they actually got that defense through. They're really showing a different team than they did in the first game. But look at Lutz. As always, look at him. That boy, nerf him, please. 12, 4, and 9. Nerf Lutz.
81k damage. 81k damage on the charts right now for Lutz. He's incredible. On the side of itemization, though, we are seeing some interesting picks. Bulldozer 3 for both Samaran and Sinus. Willow and Fernando being extremely aggressive, making sure that Inara's walls do not stay up that long, as well as obviously her warders field. We're not really dealing too well with the Barrack. I mean, they don't need to stress too much about Core Res. They got the dead zone, but they got a bit of record, guys. Come on.
Vilsa and Samaran are both trying to get a hold on to Tranq, but it doesn't matter. He will get out in due time. While Lutz gets a hold on to Zenith. Now it's a very stressful situation for the side of AICO. They have Exopuck being very low, and they're just being decimated here. There's only 2 left, and humanity is still following the circle of life.
Unfortunately, a bit of a misplay there from Vomit. He was focused too far on the side of Samron and just helping Vilsa push forward with him. Missed a bit of a pie strike there, and it allowed Infected Dragons to kind of separate their team and just pick them apart one by one and get them the point capture. Obviously, AICO are regrouping right now, and they won't make the same mistake again, but they've already afforded that mistake, and it's a 3-2 in favor of Infected.
A 3-2 situation is definitely not something that will be in favor of AICO. They really don't like this situation because what we've noticed from Infected Dragons, they feed on advantage. They are really good at continuing advantage when it happens. And right now they are ahead with 1 point, which means that they will play even more aggressive than we've seen so far. Because this is the second time they actually got allowed a point capture. So I don't know about you, but in my opinion, I do think that momentum will go into their hands unless AICO does something drastic.
I mean, Infected Dragons are really good at spitballing and being able to get snowboarding and being able to gather momentum and just push forward. As we saw in the second point fight, they were almost to they went 90% of the way pushed without any contest. They just snowballed and started getting the momentum flowing and just got there. But AICO responds with aggression, and it kind of stunts them in the tracks. However, Samaran and Vilsa are playing way too recklessly right now, and they're getting picked off in mid-game. They can't afford to rely too much on Furia's healing. Yes, she's an amazing champion with incredible healing potential, but Cauterizers are coming through in mass. So they can't really just afford that anymore. They need to play a little bit more defensively.
And defensively, they do indeed, as they are being pushed back by Lutz and CAC Pro. Both of them really pulling up a lot of weight for their squad. With an impasse, they are surely allowed to push the payload a little bit further before the next contest.
I am loving Sinus' dead zones right now. He knows where the tanks are. He will find them. He will kill them. And that's what's been happening right now. Dead zone seedling. Bye-bye, Barrick. You're gone, man. Barrick very, very low at the moment. Gonna go back to base. Shrank does not have enough sustain. Infected Dragons are grouped up in the right-hand side corner as CACPro goes down. This beautiful winner play from Sinus right now on the high ground, off the high ground. You don't even know where he is. We'll chase some kills, though. Looking for that
he is
angle,
playing
doesn't find it.
Out of his mind. Like, he's playing out of his mind, Zenus, right here. He is showing that while Lutz needs to be nerfed, he definitely needs a nerf too. He's trying to prove to himself and everybody else here in the Legacy League that you don't sleep on him. With some brilliant 3 kills and actually very close to 4 before they had to reset.
Ooh, Chino's getting really low there, all the way down to 200 HP. Furia able to heal him up though. Now they just have to defend. They're holding it really, really well, and only the first choke. Infected Dragons aren't getting an inch. AICO are holding them down, but Sinus is going to go down. Luds nerfing the butterfly right now, as AICO are 2 men down, and Infected Dragons are smelling the blood in the water and pushing forward.
Oh, as you can see, there's only 10 seconds left on the payload push, but the whole side of AICO is pushed back into their spawn. This is what I call the death room, because if you are forced to be there, you can't do anything anymore unless you get a full team wipe or even the majority of the enemy team. And right now, Infected Dragons are really pulling up some weight here. CAC Pro pressuring the backline and the tanks, while Lutz is just doing his thing, you know? He is not a guy that you can just sleep on.
CACPro falling to this damage healer right now. Is Ramut playing Bach or is she playing Furia? I don't know. It's just being so incredible for this champion. But AICO managed to defend successfully. They're able to push Infected Dragons back, but they got really close there. It's going to be a 3-3. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the tiebreaker point.
This can very well become a draw, and if it becomes a draw, then just so you all are in the know, that means that there will be 2 points, legacy points for each team, and then the ball will be rolling. A draw is definitely something you want if you are 1 game behind, so it's all up to AICO to see if they can push this back and get that draw.
My
going through.
heart's with AICO right now because yes, they're the underdog team. They're one of the weaker teams in the series right now, objectively at the moment. However, they put up such an incredible fight, and they're doing so well. It's a 3-3 match against Infected Dragons. They're working their butts off. Dread Serpent comes out right now, pushing into the corner, and take it away, Woofy.
Well, there's Bojin Toddy going down to Exopuck here, and Xenos in Faithlight, making sure that he knows what's going on, even in his own backline. And as you can see, he is really placing a World of Hurt onto Infected Dragons as his squad finally gets a hold on to the point. It took them some time, but they had the patience to wait for that time, and now it's here.
That's just the power of the Stagard of the Stone One, being able to get on point, sit there until 80%, and then just nothing. Seismic Crash comes out, it's gonna find some damage. Luds takes out from Mud, Butch and Toddy on Filsa, and AICO are looking like they're in a bad spot right now, still getting some chip capture though. Whoopee, this is looking bad.
Looking bad indeed, because there's not much they can do. There's overtime and only 3 are alive. Samarin gets covered, and that was all she wrote. Infected Dragons taking this victory. Let's take it over to you, GGG.
Well, what do you say about that other than, oh, wait, there's a Cassie in this game that seems to be killing everybody. Oh, it's Lutz again! Oh, really?
What a surprise!
The boy doesn't stop. Now, I just want to take credit for one thing. I said, in fact, I know you're out in the chat there, David, Cyro. I said, way back when, that Lutz would be a contender for DPS for any team in the PGS, and he just showed up big time. Okay, showed up on the Drogos, on the Frog Isle game, showed up on this one. So, but yes, Lutz did do well. Yes, he is only one member of the team. Let's talk about AICO though. AICO, in my opinion, they brought it. This definitely is a map that they're more comfortable on. But here's the thing. I spoke to EXO, and he reckons Frog Isle's actually their comfort pick. So here's my question. You got 4-0'd on that map, but on a map you don't actually play that much.
I think honestly in Frog Isle they kind of lost the draft. They got the short end of the stick. With the Androxus there, just not being able to do anything, being so heavily counted out by pretty much everything. They were playing a 4v5 game. They weren't able to capitalize on that. In Jaguar Falls, they had an excellent draft and excellent coordination. They knew where they wanted to be. They held the left side of the map really, really well. They had so much zoning potential, and they made use of it. Unfortunately, when you're going up against players like Luds, there's only so much you could do. And Infected Dragons, as you said, they've been around for a while. They know each other as a team. They've stuck it out. As a team, they've got so much great coordination. And AICO, being a relatively new team, they have to contend with this throughout the season. And I'm hoping to see some growth from them. I'm hoping to see them get better.
Now, before we move on, I just want to ask you, like, AICO coming into that last game looked absolutely incredible. They got the first point, they got the second point. It was absolutely incredible. I loved watching it. But talk to me about this Willow play. Let's face it, the Willow brought this game alive. The dead zones, the dredges. Just because chat was talking about dredges. The seedlings, absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah,
I want to just bring that up.
As I said, he also wanted to be nerfed. He also wanted the caster's curse, where we say nerf him, and that definitely happened. Like, did you see those 4 kills in a row? He was just like, I'm taking this and just taking this, like being in the shop, just yeah, okay, 15, yes, and just going on with that. But as you said, Riddick, new team, where the next set is actually going to be with a brand new gathered roster. As we will, after the break, go into the third matchup, which will be my team versus Yasu. It will be Brutal Fisher versus Yasu. And Brutal Fisher is brand new. Like, it has just been gathered a month ago, so they are the newest guys on the block.
Long ago, was it?
Yeah, they've been here for 3 weeks. 3 weeks, yeah, exactly. So
that's got Hell Above, and it's got
the roster
Neptune
is
on it. Yeah.
The roster is Dutch Knight, Neptune the Blue, Fake Sod, Hell Above, and Owl Dummy. And that is a really, really consistent roster. They're still fiddling with things and trying to get up to speed. But since I'm not going to cast it, I want to hear from Jay who's going to cast this match, as I am not allowed to.
Right. So obviously we don't have to cast our own team's game, so it's going to be myself and Ridiculously Average. Now, see, Buffy tried to ban me from casting. He said, no, you're going to do the host work and I'm going to do all the casting. I said, nah, son. Now, wind your neck in a little. My show, I get to cast. All right? Right.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like you to meet the Gordon Ramsay of Paladins.
Oh,
it is GG Ramsey.
No, I can't even. I can't believe you went there.
This game is fucking raw.
Did you really go there? Did you really just do that? I can't even believe you just did that.
Damn. I can't believe you got this.